Ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues, dear students, welcome to the University of Bordeaux. My name is Alexandra Doring.
And my name is 𝗘𝗡𝗟𝗏𝗂, and tonight we have the pleasure to show appreciation to our student and teaching communities by honoring them with two different awards. In the student category, we have the ENLIGHT Global Citizenship Award, and for the teaching category, we have the ENLIGHT Teaching Learning Award, Empowering Students for Tomorrow. But we're not going to be standing here too much. We're going to hand over this to the people who are going to carry the sessions through. So I would like to invite Bella from University of Groningen and Adnan, President of the ENLIGHT Student Network, to award the ENLIGHT Global Citizenship Award.
Good evening all, my name is Belle and this is my co-host. We're restricted creative integrity. Good evening all, my name is Belle and this is my co-presenter Adnan, and tonight we're going to be using our time to shine a light on the 4 project winners of the Global Citizen Award. This award...
So maybe Bella, slow down. What is the Global Citizens Award to start off with?
The Global Citizenship Award is an award for sustainable student projects in a university environment. This award is dedicated to student projects who show active engagement and dedicated to making the communities a better place. Some of the key criteria that was assessed are theme of sustainability, low impact on the community, and new and innovative ideas.
And maybe also good to add for the audience here is that the student network and the sustainability offices of all the 9 different universities which is supported within this project. Now that's a little bit on the project. So let's jump into the winners of today. So first we have the Glassary initiative, and personally I love this project. It's sustainable, saves money, and you get free stuff.
Free stuff, really?
Yes, isn't that amazing? Basically, what the students saw within Galway was that students leaving their student dorms, they would have all this good stuff that they would just throw away. Whereas students coming to the dorms, they would need all kinds of stuff for their university dorms. So why not combine these two, they thought?
So basically students can just come and go and take stuff and leave stuff?
Exactly. And it's great because we all probably know how expensive cooking stuff can be these days. Now that's all fun and cool, but the second project is about education, and we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, so luckily for us, Adnan, the students in Ghent are already one step ahead of us. The Sustainability Summer Schools developed by students in connection with their Green Office to encourage students to not only think and challenge social ecological issues.
Now that sounds cool, but isn't that something for the teachers and the universities here?
Yeah, well, this was developed on the initiative of an engineering student who noticed that the climate crisis was the biggest threat to mankind as we know it today, except everyone was telling him, you're going to be the generation to solve it. And then he sort of thought, okay, but I'm not being equipped with any of these skills to actually solve this problem. So the Sustainability Summer School was born from this. So since 2019, students of Ghent University have strived to develop courses that offer interdisciplinary, student-led, critical and engaged education outside the curriculum in the form of a summer school, and offering courses such as climate, degrowth and animal welfare.
So that's pretty cool. We now have a project that looked at sustainability before you go to uni, and a project that looks at sustainability within the classroom. For the next project, they actually looked at the campus itself, and for this we're going to go slightly further than Europe and across the ocean, all the way to Canada. Because there is the Concordia, or the Precious Plastic Project, where students took it one step further to recycle plastic. Where you and I would normally just take the plastic bottle, put it in the recycling bin, and think, that's magically solved. These students took it one step further, and they decided to recycle the plastic on their own. They set up a 3D printing facility within their own university, and using PLA scraps from other 3D products, as well as high-density polyethylene from food containers, they decided to make new items for the students within the campus.
So, is this something I can do in Groningen?
Well, you would need a 3D printing facility or to fly to Canada, so I do not think that's the most sustainable option. But the good thing is that they offer online classes to educate the community on how to manage your waste best and how to separate plastic.
So, luckily for us, the students are not only concerned with plastic waste, but we also, food waste has become a big concern for the students at the University of Uppsala on the island of Gotland. So they have not been bored, and they've been developing a program that rescues food from supermarket, bakeries and restaurants. This food that would have been previously wasted has now been redistributed into the community or turned into delicious food by the volunteer-led community kitchen.
And is that all they do within Uppsala?
No, these students have been busy, and they're not only redistributing the food waste, but they're also making a community garden, and they've also come up with their own sustainable refill shop.
Okay, Bella, I think we've talked enough, and I think it's time that we actually call out these projects. So, for the Glassware Initiative, may I call the representative Molly and Abigail and have a shout out to Dr. Loreen. For the Concordia project, the Concordia Precious Plastic project, we have Amy and Sarah as representatives. And for the Sustainable Summer Schools, we have Carol and Emilia, and the Food Rescue Gotland, Maria and Claire. So give them a huge round of applause while they come up here. Now, before you guys leave, we have a few questions to you. So this is going to be a little bit of improvising, and we're going to just call you up to the microphone here. Maybe for your first, what was the toughest challenge you actually had when setting up this project?
So when we were setting up the Glassware project, the biggest challenge we had was the logistics of storing the items after we received them, because of course we did partner with 6 different NGOs in our community who took such items like food and things, but afterwards the things that our students would need coming into the next semester, we kind of found it hard to store them. So that was our biggest challenge, but we did get some room on the campus, so we were able to do it thankfully.
Yeah. Also because it's like the summertime as well, like all this stuff is like, so a lot of students sometimes wouldn't want to take it because it's going into the summer, you know what I mean? Like they're not going to be, most of them are not going to be living on student accommodation for the summer, so that was another problem. But yeah.
Thank you very much. And maybe for you, how did you even get involved in this project as a normal student? Yeah?
So you mean how we first got to know about it and then got started, or in general, or? Yeah. For me, I would say when I came to Campus Scotland last year, I was looking for how can I be active beside studying, and how can I maybe be active in a hands-on project, as education is happening a lot here when you go to university, and it's not really preparing you sometimes for the life that's out there. So yeah, I was just looking where I can somehow find possibilities for do something directly, and that's how I got to know about Food Rescue Gotland, and I got involved, and I'm stuck with them and did my internship with them, and yeah, here we are now.
I actually wanted originally to say the same thing, but I can add to that. To me, it was also a way to meet people in the community. It was a way to network and meet people from other programs, because I mean, you get to meet the people within your program quite a lot, so it was nice to branch out and meet other people in that sense as well.
Thank you very much. Now the plastic project. Same question for you. How do you even think of that, and how do you get involved in such a project like this?
So yes, at CP3, and Amy and I are both engineering students, but it's a multidisciplinary student initiative. But as engineers, we do a lot of 3D printing, and it kind of hurts us to put that in the recycling bin knowing it's not going to go anywhere. So we wanted to make that impact and that change. And now we work with all faculties, all students that really want to tackle the plastic crisis. And so really to get involved is you just need to have, you know, the will and the desire to make an impact and try to recycle your own waste is very adventurous on its own. And so we want to support students who want to make that initiative themselves.
And maybe last but not least, we have the students from Ghent. You set up a summer school. Where would you want to see that in 10 years?
Good question. I think a big part is maintaining what we have, because this is often a difficulty we had, especially in Ghent, where now we had budget cuts, which is an issue. So keep what you have and reward students for this. And what was really bringing me hope was seeing, we always ask students before they start the summer school and after if they feel empowered, and they indicate that they feel lost before, and afterwards we see this huge shift towards empowerment and being active. So that really gives me hope. And then students start their own initiative. So one of the students who started the animal welfare initiative was the student who had one of these experiences, and for me it was the same. So I think this is really giving me hope.
Yeah, and I really hope that the summer school can really elicit change. We want to change things, and it has already happened because we already made some huge changes after 3 years, and I just wish that it can keep on happening and we can keep on making great changes to the university and to animal welfare and the climate and everything. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Now, we're not going to keep you very occupied for very long, so that's all for today. But maybe a good lookout, or at least it's all for today for the Global Citizenship Award. But maybe good to know is that the Global Citizenship Award is not done after this today. As a matter of fact, it is going to rebrand it as the Sustainability Award. So same principle, different name. But we will see it next year back at the Teaching and Learning Conference, and then we hope to see you all back as well. Thank you very much, and I'll give the word back to Alexandra.
So thank you, Adnan. Thank you, Bella, for that beautiful presentation. Okay, so the aim of the ENLIGHT Teaching and Learning Award is to recognize ENLIGHT's course or program of the year. And through this recognition, widely spread the best teaching practices within the ENLIGHT aliens. Prior to the ENLIGHT Teaching and Learning Award 2023, each ENLIGHT partner university has selected their nominee course or program to be presented to the award selection. The selection process took place in 2 phases. During the first phase, that took place before the event, the 9 jury members, composed of 1 student per university, were to evaluate the nominees' application files according to the following criteria. Criteria 1, extent to which the program develops ENLIGHT competences empowering students. Criteria number 2, replicability of the program in the ENLIGHT community. Criteria 3, whether the program suggests a reflective path for educators and students. And last but not least, criteria 4, whether the program suggests innovative approaches to student involvement. During the second phase of the selection process that took place yesterday, the 9 jury members were to evaluate the nominees' program's presentations. Therefore, I would now like to invite Tessa to the lecturing.
everyone. Firstly, in the name of the jury, we would like to express our thanks to the teachers and students representing the nominations and acknowledge their amazing and impressive contributions. Over the course of the next minutes, the jury members will share some aspects of each nomination that we found particularly striking during our evaluations.
Thank you so much, Tessa. So now the jury members will announce the nominee programs ranked 4 to 9 in alphabetical order by name of the city. Each jury member will also share their reflections of each program. So Tessa, would you please come back and introduce the first nominee in this award category?
Yes. So, for the University of the Basque Country, representing the course Food Product and Process Development, it was great to witness an innovative cross-border cooperation, on one hand facilitating a multicultural learning environment, which allows students to receive feedback from both institutions, whilst on the other hand giving students a hands-on approach and contact with companies focusing on local products. And we are very excited to see how this course can be replicated at the other ENLIGHT institutions in the future. Congratulations. And I would for you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and congratulations again.
Thank you so much, Tessa. And that brings us to Oscar. Would you please join us up on stage?
From the University of Bordeaux, the SBM's Young Battle is a program that aims to develop public speaking and soft skills, essential abilities when preparing for the labour market today. The jury would like to emphasize the benefits of the interdisciplinary work that this program allows. For example, giving law students insights in biology, while also providing biology students with an ethics and judiciary point of view. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Oscar. And moving on to the next university, I will ask Emile to come and join us.
For the entrepreneurship program by Comenius University, the jury would like to highlight the innovative collaboration with companies combined with a mentorship program which allows for double feedback to students working on concrete real-world cases, thus giving students the opportunity to learn a multitude of professional and soft skills and preparing them for a life beyond the university. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Emile. And now we have something a little bit uncommon. Because of a jury member that could not be here today, I've been asked to just sort of swap identity and introduce the next university for you, which is University of Ghent for the course Social Policy. And the statement goes like this. The course offers students to take on different roles during the process, giving them an opportunity to practice a broader set of skills in preparation of the labor market. The jury saw and appreciated the great team spirit among the teachers that are all present here at the conference today. So thank you and congratulations. So we're moving on to the next university, which is going to be 𝗘𝗡𝗏, who's presenting.
I'm happy to present the nominee from the University of Tartu. Based on the discussion among the jury members, the two courses on an important topic of media literacy is a perfect example of translating theory into practice. These two courses are open and beneficiary to all and can be easily scalable and adapted due to social media changing every day. The jury liked that the course offers constructive feedback among the teachers and the students. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, 𝗘𝗡𝗟𝗏. Now we are at the final university within this award category, and I would like to invite Hannah-Britt to come up to the stage.
The jury would like to highlight Uppsala University's project in laboratory synthetic biology, where students can experience an innovative approach when preparing for the international competition IGEM. It is an excellent example of student-centered teaching, where the teachers act as guides, and we would be happy to see similar programs in other universities where student competitions are held. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. And before moving on to the next category, I would just like to mention that these tote bags have been prepared and composed of products made by the University of Bordeaux and the student entrepreneurs. Many thanks to them for this contribution.
So, are now to be announced the prize-winning programs ranked 3 to 1. Ooh. Each nominee, person or group representing their program is invited to proceed to the lectern once named. For the third prize, I will ask Rami to come to the lectern.
In third place, the prize goes to the University of Groningen. I just have a little bit to say about the project first. The Democratic Innovations is a course that focuses on real-world problems and the students leading ideas to tackle these issues. The jury particularly enjoyed these aspects, along with working with local stakeholders as challenge providers. This approach allows the course to stay up-to-date and fresh each year as the students pick the democratic innovation and pick the topic that they will work on. Congratulations.
Thank you. I just want to give a shout out to Benjamin Leroux, who can't join us today, unfortunately, but thank you to him. He actually designed the course and teaches it. Thanks to him for trusting me to represent him here. And also thank you to the other nominees who created a very supportive environment during our presentations yesterday.
So, for the second prize, I will ask Teresia to come to the lectern.
The second place goes to the University of Galway. The program Start 100 fosters entrepreneur spirit for students within academic environment. The jury appreciated the empowering property of the program for both teachers and students, more precisely peer-to-peer feedback, students' feedback, and teachers and vice versa. The final outcome of the program is a concrete learning experience, and it's great to see that several ideas led to creative startups. Congratulations.
I will keep this really brief. We just want to acknowledge and thank everybody who has made this event such a success, to our host, the University of Bordeaux, to our ENLIGHT Galway team, Pamela and Catherine, and our colleagues who are here to support us. I need to acknowledge one person, Jenny Mullery, who isn't here with us today, and Start 100 is Jenny's child. She has raised it and looked after it, and it is a success because of her investment in it. I'd also like to thank Connie O'Regan, who is our evaluator, who makes sure we stay on the straight and narrow and that we are measuring skills development across our teams. I'd also like to thank our funders, the Higher Education Authority, and my final thank you is to our students, the 33 students who came on this amazing journey with us last year and this year, and we have learned so much from them. So we'll bring this back and we'll celebrate with them. Thank you all.
And now, for the first prize, I will ask Salome to come to the lectern.
So, the first place goes to the University of Göttingen for the project Virtual Exchanges for Global Education in Foreign Languages Teaching. And you can So we highly appreciated how this project innovates on teaching emotional skills and debating social issues by leveraging a common language to bring forth multiculturalism and cultural identities. Although the current project focuses on future English teachers, it enlightens skills that will have to be developed in the future to empower teachers and students. Congratulations again. I am pleased to welcome you to present, well, again, if you want.
Thank you so much. Usually I like to play these things by ear, and my PhD advisor usually doesn't like that when I'm not prepared. So this time, I did, just in case. I wrote something for 2 minutes, but now I have a bit more time, I think, right? Which is great. Yeah, 5 minutes. That's amazing. So, and of course, first I do want to thank these lovely people. Yesterday, I think we all agreed it was a wonderful atmosphere that we all had. I think we all would have loved to hear even more of what we all had to say, and maybe after today or after this event, we get the chance for that. And generally, what I do want to say for this, thank you here is, I think yesterday, with the presentation by our friends in Galway and the lively debate that already happened afterwards, you already set the stage quite nicely for what I want to talk about and what's part of the passion behind this project. Unfortunately, I think it's fair to say that we do live in a time where people seem to be looking for simple solutions to complex problems increasingly. Last Sunday in Germany, we had elections, and the far right gained far too much ground, despite our history. And so this project is a passion project for me, not only because it's my PhD project, so it's my baby, but it was conceptualized based on the conviction that I, as an educator of a language as global as English, am responsible to empower my student teachers, the future English teachers, to, in turn, empower their learners to participate in complex global discourses. Discourse competency is one of the key pillars of language education. In our globalized world and its polarized mediascapes, language teaching can foster critical, linguistic, cultural, and media competencies. Give me a sec. And literacies, including mediation skills and attitudes of global awareness, respect for diversity, and empathy. One aspect that made this course, this virtual exchange with participating partners in Sweden, Uppsala, but also Brazil, Chile, Israel, and Turkey, so important and special to me is the following. We asked students to develop teaching materials on global issues in transnational teams over the course of usually 2 months. And the idea was that the students involved in these things were in some fashion affected or at least deeply invested in the problems they wanted to talk about. I'm a big fan of the term glocal problems, not just the global dimension, but how do they actually exist locally. And so what we realized, though, that some topics turned out to be maybe a bit too hard to talk about. And this one is unfortunately extremely topical. And this course is something I taught since 2020 and kept teaching. When the crisis in Israel and Palestine flared up in 2021, my students and I were overwhelmed. How do you, as in my case, a German citizen, talk to a Palestinian student crying over Zoom as bombs go off in the background? How do you handle this situation? And so far, we're still looking for the answers. But some things that we saw, and that's the topic of my PhD research, is we need to provide plenty of time, space, and opportunities for mentoring and guided reflection as students embark on these exchanges. Throughout, constantly. And including, for example, anonymous feedback spaces and student assistants as mediators, and basically providing a space for a structured back and forth between local safe spaces where we can talk about the experience and cultural deep dives beyond comfort zones. Ultimately, the idea and the hope is to foster tolerance for ambiguity, a willingness to listen and to keep talking while being curious but not judgmental, and to contribute tiny changes towards more competency for critical yet constructive cross-cultural communication. And now, because I have a bit more time, I can actually thank people, and that's really important to me, especially all my lovely co-teachers with whom I taught these classes: Stellan Sund in Uppsala, Semi Ikin, Samit Öztürk, Nachla Nassar in Israel, Katharina Valpa-Gormas in Chile, Angela Muskopf, and really importantly, the student assistants who acted as mediators in these classes. I needed them. Without them, I would have despaired. Olga Miller, Julian Köhler, Laura Möller, and Clara Hilgenberg. And finally, I have to say thank you to my PhD advisors, Carola Surkamp and Andreas Müller-Hartmann. Thank you for trusting me with this, and thank you all.
The prize awards were designed and created by the University of Bordeaux's Fab Lab and are made of corn-based plastic recycled to become objects. So that's a little wink to our precious plastic project, since the awards are actually made in corn-based plastic that has been recycled from the Fab Lab by the students and designed by a student. Okay, we would like to thank our jury members for the absolute incredible job they've done before and during the ENLIGHT Teaching and Learning Conference. So thank you very much once again, and this has been a beautiful experience, I think, for all of us. Thank you very much. No, you can stay here. Okay, may I now please invite Mari Karam to the lectern for the official hosting handover of the ENLIGHT Teaching and Learning Conference.
Dear colleagues, I have good news for you. In the year 2024, the ENLIGHT conference will be organized. I have good news for you. The Teaching and Learning Conference in 2024 will be organized in October, from 7th to 9th. And it will be organized in Tartu, in the University of Tartu. We do not have the precisely formulated theme of the conference yet, but we know that the conference will be, at the conference there will be discussions about learning, teaching, students, engagement, challenges, sustainability, etc. And now we would like you to show a short video clip about Tartu. Then you know where Tartu is, what you can expect from this town, and you do not get lost when you come to the conference in Tartu. See you in Tartu. Welcome to Tartu.
And now, a concluding word given by 𝗘𝗡𝗟𝗏𝗧, University of Bordeaux's Vice President in charge of internationalization.
I'm going to be very brief because this is more housekeeping, and I don't want to lower the highly charged atmosphere of this celebration. And congratulations to all of the award winners. As you know, we won't have another opportunity to be all together in this room. Maybe you will say, great, no ventilation, not too hot. But so I want to just stand between you and the buffet and briefly recognize the contribution of our team here, so that tomorrow we have lots of good sessions and lots of things happening, but we won't have the opportunity to do that. So it means I have to kind of shuffle off into the corner because I've hidden some stuff. So please be patient. This was very secret, that's why it's not as fluid as what has happened before. So as you know, any conference takes up a lot of time and energy. There were 3 people who have really led this all the way through the year. An educational developer, an international project officer, and a very talented professor of entrepreneurship who is also a colleague vice president. So I want to say thank you to them for really thinking very carefully about the design and the organization of the sessions, and doing a lot of real strong reflection on how we could bring people together. And to do that, I'd like to ask Estelle and Lola and Claire to come down. Okay. are colleagues, okay, but it's to recognize the huge investment and all the talent that you put into this, as well as being vice president for a lot of other things. So, yeah. This is for Claire, an educational developer who has done an awful lot of reflection on scenarization. She works very hard in ENLIGHT, lots of other things. And she's also been taken away from moving house. So it's a little... Lola, dear Lola, who has been a solid member of the ENLIGHT project. Previously, done a lot of work on international projects. It's been a really intense process, I know, and it's come to great fruition. Look at everyone here. We've taken you away from the rugby. I apologise for that. It's true. That's more or less it, but I would like to just recognise also the investment of Alexandra and Jonathan. So these are not, Fab Lab printed. This is local. Okay. So I just like Alexandra and Jonathan, just for working so nicely with this group. Okay. And just to move back to the real people who we're really interested in, just to move back to the real people. The student jury, we have goodie bags for you as well. We've got some nice things for you. As you go out, you will get them. There are many, many more people in the international office working hard in ENLIGHT in our university. I want to recognise them and thank them as well, and we'll do that tomorrow. But thank you for being there, just to give a good round of applause for the team. I think you understand why it's important. And we have a nice buffet and lots of things and a photo booth to enjoy together from now on. I think that's it. So thank you very much. Okay. Claire kindly reminded me we have food, drink, the photo booth, and all of the posters to be enjoyed in the next couple of hours. Okay, please.